He's spending $78 to make $695. That's almost a 10x return, and it could be a 20x return. Now, in this private consult that I'm about to share with you in just 1 second, we're showing you behind the scenes of exactly a funnel, a coach, what he's using and what is actually best working right now when it comes to being able to get predictable leads and reliable sales coming through the door. And there is no crazy funnels involved. There's no big ad budgets needed. There's none of the complicated stuff. This is literally the stuff that's working right now, which is why I wanted to record this really quickly to get this to you today. Three key things that are jumping to me right now as to what we want to focus on. Like, what's the highest leverage thing to make you more money, make your business a hell of a lot easier? The thing that I love, that what you sent me, Adam, was like, my number one goal is to get to consistent 12 to 15,000 pound per month top line revenue as quickly as possible. And the reason why I love this so much, at this point, my wife doesn't have to work and we have enough money for business costs, life costs, fund money, plus enough to put something aside each month for security. Love that. That's the whole bloody point of this right now. Now, when we break down everything that I've sent through, and we're going to look at some numbers as well, just from the scorecard side of things, is there's three of the highest leverage things I think we could solve right now. Is one, there's no back end offer. So we've kind of got a revenue ceiling problem to solve. Two, scaling what we need to scale, what is actually working, and we need to get away from the stuff that kind of like being a little bit dependent on like one ad that might be working. Do you know what I mean? Third one was your time getting pissed against the wall on like low ROI activities. Like you're busy, but not working on the things that really need to be doing in the correct order. Would that be about right?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so when we look at the numbers, I won't share the screen of your scorecard, but when we go through the scorecard so far with what's been updated. Okay, so top line numbers, we do this. You spend $3,470 on ads, you've made $26,500 in sales. Amazing. We have a lead to, so let's go through the ratios and the key core metrics from here. The lead to booked ratio is at 14.2%, which is fantastic. Anything above 10, I'm super happy. I'd be gunning for like 15 to 20, but you're nearly there. Booked to showed is at 62.6%. Again, our goal is 60, so you're above that, which is fantastic. Showed to close is at 47.8. Our goal is 50, so you're super close. Cost per sale. This is where I'm super happy with. Look at numbers. So the target for cost per sale is $125, but you're bloody getting a cost per sale for $78.91. And a cost per booked call is $23.62. Your ads are printing, I think, is the technical word when we come back down to that. And the only key issue that we would want to probably bump up, if anything, would be a close to show. And if anything, it doesn't even matter because your main lead to booked, book to show, and show to close are all like doing fantastically, which is why you've got such good numbers. So in short, if you just actually spent more money on ads, you would actually just make more profit at the end of the day. However, we're going to do multiple things at once to make a hell of a lot more money at the same time. Is there anything you think I've missed so far?
Not with the ads, other than this weird psychological thing of just feeling like spending more money is scary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Other than that, maybe I've noticed over the last couple of weeks the ads become a little bit less effective. That's probably more to do with the last couple of weeks being Christmas and New Year.
Let me start with a story then. Do you know who John Gian is? No? Okay. John's amazing. I won't talk revenue numbers because other people will see this publicly. Does a metric shit ton, right? A little while ago, paid money. I flew in and I spent 3 days with him and his team to see like how their operations done. It's a 9-figure business, just FYI, right?
Wow.
They spend over $1 million on ads per week, right? So like doing good. And anyway, so I saw everything going on. And there was probably, I think there was about 20 of us in the room. There was kind of like a private invite thing, right? So there was 20 of us in the room and everyone's like, fantastic. I was like, what the fuck am I doing in this room? Like I felt like the small fry there, right? Everyone was incredible. Like you'd know the names of them. And one guy essentially were asked the main media buyer, Vaughn, amazing dude, asked Vaughn essentially like, how can you scale your ads? Like when the numbers are up there, like how do you get to 1 million ad spend per week. Do you know what I mean? Like that takes some cojones to like be like paying that Amex bill. Do you know what I mean? Of like,
Mm.
but putting that out there. Vaughn just turns to him, looks at him blankly, and just goes, "Work on yourself." And it was like that was just like, and I was like, I'm thigh slapping, I'm laughing, I'm like, oh my God, that's the best answer I've ever heard. And, and because I get that as well, right? And it's the case of like one of the expansions is having the understanding that you can fall back on the trust to the numbers. And that's why I'm
Mm.
so anal with you and everyone tracking numbers in the scorecard, because when we can just go, the numbers are telling me that I've spent, do you know what I mean? Effectively, it's like I've spent $1 and just on the front end, I'm making $4 to $5 back because your goddamn bloody problem is you don't have a back end yet, which is you'll probably at least double to triple the amount of money that you'll actually be making
Yeah.
anyway, right? So where you have a, let's say a 1 to 5 ratio, $1 in, $5 out, that's actually a shitload more than that. Let's say you've probably got more of a 1 to 8 ratio, right? If you just add the back end, it goes to a 1 to 16 ratio for what it is that you're able to make there.
That's then part of the problem. It's like, because for a back end, I've got kind of a rough idea and a Google Doc at the moment. And
Yeah.
it's like, well, if I go and spend time building that, the other thing is going to dip.
We don't want the spinning plate of ads and acquisition working right now whilst we turn our attention over
Yeah.
here to build the back end on. So 100%. And I think that's something that we want to nail right now. So here's the game plan that I put together for us to be able to go through now, right? Is you've got the money
Yep.
method front end program coming
Yep.
through right now. What we
Yep.
want is something that is back end, monthly recurring revenue, much more leverage with your time, and
Yep.
gets your clients fantastic results at the same point, right? Well, let me ask you this. A client goes through the money method. What are the problems that they're going to have once they've achieved the goal of obviously going through your starting promise?
The key problem that exists once they've done the money method and it's worked for them is they've basically brute forced their way through getting clients. They've manually outreached, connected, sold by chat, all of that kind of stuff. So they've got the clients, but they've done it by leveraging the fact that they didn't have the clients and therefore they had the time. Now they've got clients all the time, less time to do that brute force stuff. So they now either don't have the time to do the manual stuff to get more leads, or they're just maxed out on their time. They've got no systems, they've got no efficiencies, they've got none of that stuff. So they've got kind of like clients coming in and yay, but I'm working all the hours to just look
Yes.
after them and make it work.
So let's say client comes to you, they've got no money, but probably a lot of time, like a little bit of time, right? And then what happens is now they've got more money, but now they've got less time
yeah,
because they're doing like, I call it like the guerrilla tactics, right? Of like
yeah,
getting everything done. So now there's probably like 2 steps I think they need to make, which is they need a little bit of systems and automation that takes a little bit of their money that they can use to buy themselves back more time. That's kind of like phase one. So I probably see you need to kind of create like 2 levels to your back end. There's like level one, which is you're going to use a little bit of systems and automation to be able to buy back your time so that it can run. And that's probably going to be like, you're probably going to help them get to like 20, 30,000 a month, something around that point. And then it's a case of now, how do you completely get back your time if you wanted to, and you're only doing the ultimate things that you want, right? And so in this case, it would be something along the lines of, I would say, in a framework of coaching, community, and course, right? There's 3 elements to what it is that you do for your back end, Adam. What is it that you need to create for the course material? Like, what's the actual you giving them or teaching them? Like, if you give them a fish, what can you give them a fish where it's a case of it's just like it's done for them?
what I've kind of come up with is a several phase process, but the phases are not linked to a particular piece of time. So I've kind of gone, right, well, we've brute forced our way through, and now we've got these phases when I can find the damn things on this thing. So we've got phase one is what I'm calling stabilize, which is where we take the business of what they've got now and we find the kind of low hanging fruit. So in my first problem, we've not done anything around price optimization. So that's probably something that I'm known for more than anything else. So immediately we look at all their prices, find out what's making them the most money, what's making them the least money, ditch the least money things, increase the price on the more money things. They'll probably just make more money straight away. So then they can be like, okay, well, I'm busy and I've got clients and I'm now just making even more money for the same amount of work. Or I can make the same amount of money but pull back on my time with clients because I'm optimizing that. So phase one, we said stabilize, which is basically diagnose what's actually driving your revenue, clean up your offer mix, fix pricing leaks, and build a program and service that actually performs at a high level for their clients. So we do that. Then phase two is where we raise their income without adding hours. So we take them through the program route rather than selling treatments. Bit more into premium pricing. We get them to control their diary and put boundaries in place. That's when we bring in more of the automations and systematizations and stuff, so that now they've got an optimized business and we're kind of claiming back some time. And then once we've done that, they should be then generating money at a much higher level. Then we go into phase three, which I'm calling freedom and growth. And this is where we kind of like start to bring in the next level systems of a lot more automation, potentially bringing in a VA to help take some of the grunt work stuff off their hands and things like that. Those are the three phases, because everyone's going to be slightly different. They're all going to have a slightly different mix of problems. So I'm like, I don't want to say, okay, well, phase one is exactly 3 weeks. It's like, it's like 60 to 90 days. And then the next is 60 to 90 days. So it kind of gives me a loose plan for an ongoing system.
If you've made it this far, seriously, thank you. I appreciate you being here. But real quick, if you are a coach or consultant who wants to be able to build a self-growing business without bloated team, a big ad budget, or working more than 3 hours a day, then make sure that you hit subscribe, because everything I share here is built for founders just like you, because it's likely that you are done chasing bigger and ready to build better. So let's get back to it.
I would do it this way then. You've nutted that out brilliantly from what we've covered before with this. How long will it take for you to build the first part out? So at least you've got kind of like that first section.
If in my mind, so I have this process I've got called perfect pricing for profits. That's kind of their bill. It's probably overcomplicated for this, so I just need to simplify it. But the process is actually there. That is to rejig that and record videos around it 2 or 3 days, probably.
Dude, you're that far away from it. So I'd build the first part out, so you've got that ready to roll. How many potential clients do you have ready to upsell into this now?
I'd probably say some like 15 ideal candidates, let's say.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. So you got really good. So send a one-on-one email to each of those 15 ideal candidates. And it would be something along the lines of like, hey, Adam, I've just created something I think would be a really good fit for you. Would you be up for a quick 15-minute chat to see if this is a right fit, right? And then just get onto the call and then just, hey, this is what I've actually built out. Here it is. You're going to get a screamer of a deal that you'll never get again, because you're kind of like a part of the beta test, essentially, that I'm like rolling this out for, right? Then you've sold an extra 15 clients into the back end. That's kind of like selling process 1. Selling process 2 is at which points in your current front end program are you talking about and like seeding the vision of what's next to come? Typically, that's going to happen at the very start of the module, right? Like the very start, what they see. And you could just like quickly record something new that's like, hey, here's like the yellow brick road of what I've got for you. You've just signed on to the money method. The money method does this and it does it really well. But however, when you get to the end of the money method, pretty good chance that you're going to want this one, like all of these things. And that's exactly what we cover here. And this is why I do it in like the order that I do it. So at least you've planted the seed of what is to come. Yeah. And then ideally you want a couple of touch points throughout the process, especially like if they get a win, like if they've done a really good win, do you know what I mean? Like you can always get them back onto another call to sell them into the next step before they finish the actual money method program. But at least the seed is planted. Worst case scenario, when they finish the money method program, you get them onto a call then, and then you just take them through. So that's like the selling process, the ascension process for it. How much do you want to charge for this?
I have no idea. I want this to be something that people kind of, I guess like Rainmakers, I don't want this to be a fixed term thing. I want them to stick around. I want them to love it so much that it's
197 quid. Does that sound about right? Or too low? I'm just pulling a number out of
well,
my backside right now.
yeah, I know, and I was kind of thinking about that. But funnily enough, when they join the money program, although it's for a finite period of time and they pay weekly, it's technically like 260 quid a month. So even when
Okay.
they weren't doing so well, it was 260. But I think people would resist paying that ongoing. So
Yes.
I do think something around 200 would probably bridge that barrier between a lot more people saying yes to start with
Let's
and
start
get
at
going.
190. Start at 197 a month, and let's see what happens there.
And then the other things my head goes to is then like how much of me to put into it, how much kind of ongoing time per month does it need? Some of it is
There's
so I
there's
kind of have
one
this idea of
one group call a week sounds sufficient. Like you've created the
probably.
material for them to go through. Just one call a week sounds enough.
Yep.
I'd stick with that for now. I think if there's a community aspect so they can ask questions and get answers, that's 15 minutes of your day popping in and like answering questions. One call a week is like, hey, just like Q&A, kind of like the way we do it in Rainmakers. It's like, jump on, ask a question, let me solve what you've got right now, and we'll keep moving on.
Okay.
It means you don't have to like prepare new teaching material or IP or anything like
Yeah,
that
I love
either.
that. We're basically saying build phase one and sell it. Worry about phase two and three later.
Yeah, let's cross that bridge,
Okay.
dude. 100%. Let's cross that bridge when we get there. I'd literally just think phase one, and then you know that there's still phases two and three to come, which is exactly what I was thinking along the lines. Like, look, potential clients already, you've probably got an extra 2,500 quid a month extra income for you just to be able to put on from there. That's fun because that's already literally sitting on your plate for you to be able to do. Then once you've done that, once you've got that built, then turn your attention to the ascension process that then goes into money method so that it's more of an automatic flow to putting people into phase one after the money method.
This is then how it all becomes kind of circular because it's like, well, like I said, the money method needs to freshen up. There are bits in there that I refer to that are no longer quite
Yes.
right. So
Yes.
that needs a refresh as well. It's like, and this is where I think a lot of the rainmakers are going to come up against at different levels. It's like there's so many things you could do and spend your time on. It's like which
100%.
is the
Which do you
right
do?
thing to spend it in what order?
So let me use the Rainmakers as an example to help you through it because the building of phase one will be a forcing function that will make you make better the money method anyway, right? Because they'll have to flow through. And so the way I thought about it with Rainmakers, say in the Circle program, is once you've gone through the foundation, right? So let's say 8 weeks is the foundation. You have a predictable system to be able to go leads to sales and then to be able to put them into your program. So that's like the whole point of it. But phase two is then the process of now you have a roadmap and then literally in order, you bolt on each little playbook so that you've got more profits and higher leverage, right? And so when you go through the playbook process that's now created, you know, like for example, it's just ask you a question like, so let's just say this is an example, right? So you can see here like irresistible offer here and it's green.
Yeah.
You go, do I have an offer that people feel some dumb saying no to? So if you answer no, it's red, right? But then you go through and you start collecting, yeah. So when you go through phase one of Circle, it literally it gets all of these done. So you'll have green boxes throughout all of this. And then you just literally move on to the next one. Do I have a low barrier entry funnel that brings in quality leads for low cost? Do I have a high predictable weekly system for running ads that takes a little time and effort on my behalf? Like, so if you answer no, that's literally the next playbook and it just links directly to the playbook into school for you. And then it's done.
Right.
So there is no confusion about the next best step. That's the thing I'm always thinking about for like having clients achieve the fastest, easiest results is there's no confusion about what do I do next, but there's what do I do now, right? And the what do I do now, I solve through having that momentum playbook, which is this is what you do daily, weekly, monthly. No matter what playbook you're focusing on here, you do this no
Make
matter
sure you're
what,
doing
which
this.
is exactly. So you know how you said earlier in the call, it's like, well, what do I do? I want to build this thing over here, but I don't want to have my plate full with the actual acquisition system I've got going. That's the momentum playbook. So you do
Got
the
it.
daily, weekly, monthly tasks that are like that. You do those either no matter what, or when you delegate it off to a team member. But then you move on to the next playbook, and the next playbook is like that's the next part of the engine that I need to install to make this thing run faster and easier.
Got it. So whatever I'm doing, make sure the momentum playbook is being done every day, because that's my issue. It's like I love creating the videos and writing the things. I'll happily disappear off down a rabbit hole for 3 weeks and go and make that amazing.
Yeah,
It's like, oh shit, I forgot to sell anything.
That's typically why a coach will have the roller coaster of, oh my God, I'm making sales. Oh my God, I need more leads. And it's this like doing scale that keeps flipping where it's like, no, keep both going at the same time. And that's why I created the momentum playbook, to make sure that you don't drop the ball on the basics that need to be done.
So it's actually like creation process might take a bit longer, but you're not dropping the ball whilst you're doing it. So that's fine.
Exactly right. So, like on the last coaching call that we had, and it was like, it was bringing up the YouTube, right? And everything happening. So I'm in the rabbit hole right now of like building out exactly what's needed to create successful YouTube for you guys. And I was like, do not start a YouTube channel unless you are doing these other things and you can keep doing those other things. Because I don't want you to pivot and look over here and then go, oh, my Facebook ad. Like, I just will not let you stop looking at your Facebook ads right now with what's working, because it's printing money, right? And so let me touch on some key aspects on like, what are the to-dos for Adam from here? One, build phase one out of your back-end program. Two, sell the 15 ideal clients you've already got into the program without it even having built. Be like, hey, we're going to start 1st of next month, right? Give yourself a little bit of runway for it, and then you can literally sell them from tomorrow morning. The third is you're going to build the ascension, and you're probably going to want to like build the ascension and make the upgrades into the money method. With the current ads that are running right now, I typically would say increase 15 to 20% on a week-to-week basis. But for you, I'm just going to say add 10%, right? So let me swing back to, so let's just say, for example, you spent, I don't know, $209 on ads for the week, right? And you go, all right, fantastic. You're just going to bump it to $230 for the next week. And then you're going to go $260, right, for the week after that. So as long as the numbers aren't drastically dipping, the way I'd think about it is a kill it switch, right? So what's the kill it switch metric that's like, oh shit, things are dropping where it is? And that's where for you, it would mainly be cost per sale. This is where your numbers go bonkers for me, is your front end sale number, like dollars that you earn from it, is $1,800. Like total contract sale, $1,800, right? But you're paying $78 right now for a cost per sale. Sorry, CAC is $78, and you're making at least $1,800, and it's going to be a hell of a lot more once you've got the back end on.
That 1,800 is 3 sales, so it's actually, well, it's $695. So it's costing me $78. It's making me £695. So it's still
okay. So it's not okay. So it's not as good as I actually thought it was, but it's there. So okay. So you're paying $78 to make $600.
Yeah.
Correct. Okay. So it's just under a 1 to 10 right now. So if you can add the back end on it, can you make it a 1 to 20?
Yeah, almost certainly.
Any other questions come up for it?
Not for around that. It's then just around the kind of other time things that it takes. It's like I basically, since the ads have been working so well, I've kind of stopped doing as much of the organic content, but the ads are way outperforming anything the organic content did. So it's like, how much time to put into that?
Give me a date that you stop the organic or drop the ball on the organic. Because when I look at your tracking, you're doing bugger all content posts anyway.
Yeah.
The reason I ask is, do you need it right now?
That's it. That's my question. It's like, I don't. The ads are performing so well, I don't need to do it. So it's like, if I put like one post out a week so that Instagram knows that I still exist, the ads are still killing it. And the ads are bringing in more followers to Instagram anyway. I'm getting people coming through the DMs anyway. So it's like, do I really need to put that much time and effort into creating the content? I'd rather write the emails that I'm good at. And I know you said don't start a YouTube channel, but I already have a YouTube channel.
Yep.
And I want to start doing more of that.
Adam, this is super simple. Keep doing the momentum playbook. That's going to make sure your daily, weekly, monthly's done. You're going to build phase one out. You're going to upsell the 15 into phase one. You're going to build the ascension system into the money method from there. just slowly keep increasing the ad spend, and then we'll make a little bit more creative when needed. Do you know what I mean? For the ads to do it, but they're already doing fantastic. Screw the organic content postings for now. Once you've done those major projects, then do the YouTube, then we can go from there.
Then YouTube. Okay, fine. Got it. Perfect. On it. That's my next 3 months.
All right, that's it for today. And if this did hit home for you today, and if you are building a business that's meant to give you more money and more freedom, then I want you to be able to do 2 things before you go. 1, hit subscribe and turn on notifications, because it'll be a bummer if you missed out on everything else to come. Number 2, grab the link in the description and be able to book in your free demo so you can see the exact systems, the exact process, and you can be able to install it inside of your business. Because remember, this channel is for coaches and creators who want a daily income, simple systems, and to be able to take time off. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.